Right now, a house cat, a literal lap animal, could snap your arm like a breadstick. Pound for pound, it's roughly 3 times stronger than you. A chimpanzee could rip your limbs off without breaking a sweat. And a tiger? A tiger could kill you with one motion you wouldn't even see coming. So here's the question that should be bothering you. Why are you, supposedly the dominant species on this planet, this physically pathetic? Now flip it. What if evolution had made the opposite bet? What if, somewhere back in your ancestral line, natural selection had said, let's make this one strong, instead of, let's make this one smart? Picture it. Your muscles are denser, packed edge to edge with fast twitch fibers built for one thing: explosive, violent power. Your tendons are thicker, anchored into bone that's been reinforced to handle forces that would currently turn your skeleton to gravel. One punch from you cracks concrete. One sprint, and you've blown past a car doing 40 miles an hour. You could flip a vehicle. You could snap a door frame in half with one shoulder. Feels good to imagine, doesn't it? Except here's where the fantasy falls apart. And it falls apart fast, because tiger-grade strength is one of the most expensive things biology can build, and nothing in nature gets that kind of power for free. Start with the fuel bill. Muscle tissue is metabolically greedy even at rest. It burns calories just existing, just sitting there on your frame doing nothing. A tiger's entire lifestyle is built around this cost. It's why tigers spend up to 20 hours a day essentially doing nothing, conserving every scrap of energy between hunts, because their bodies are so expensive to run that constant activity would bankrupt them. Give you that same strength, and you don't get to keep your job, your gym schedule, your Sunday errands. You get a body that needs thousands of extra calories a day just to keep those muscles from starting to cannibalize themselves. You'd spend half your life foraging just to keep the lights on. Now imagine those muscles could talk. Picture your own bicep, arms crossed, sweat beading, glaring up at you every time you reach for a salad instead of a slab of raw meat. Do you have any idea what it costs to keep us this strong? It snaps. You want to skip lunch? Fine. Enjoy watching us shrink. That's not a joke. That's literally what happens physiologically when a high-maintenance body doesn't get fed enough. Muscle doesn't wait patiently. It breaks itself down for parts the moment the calorie math stops working. So why didn't your ancestors go this route? The answer is one of the more brutal trade-offs in the history of evolution, and it happened roughly 2 million years ago. Muscle is expensive. Brain tissue is also expensive. Insanely expensive, actually. Your brain alone burns around 20% of your daily calories at rest, despite being about 2% of your body weight. Natural selection couldn't fund both a tiger's muscle budget and a supercomputer brain on the same limited calorie income. Something had to give. And the bet your ancestors' bodies made, generation after generation, was to strip muscle mass down and pour those freed up calories into neural tissue instead. That bet is the entire reason you're capable of reading this sentence, understanding sarcasm, planning next week, or building a rocket. Every ounce of raw power you gave up got reinvested into the organ that's currently doing this thinking. But the calorie problem is only half the story, because even if you found a way to feed a tiger-strength body, your joints wouldn't survive it. Human joints weren't engineered for explosive output. They were engineered for something almost opposite: tireless, efficient, marathon-grade movement. And this is where your ancestors quietly became one of the strangest predators the animal kingdom has ever produced. Through something called persistence hunting, early humans could chase prey for hours, in brutal heat, long after faster and stronger animals had to stop, overheat, and give up. No claws, no fangs, no explosive muscle, just relentless, efficient walking and jogging until the prey collapsed from heat exhaustion. That's not power. That's something almost scarier: patience with legs. Now bolt tiger-grade muscle onto that same frame, and the whole system breaks. That much muscle mass generates enormous heat with almost no way to dump it fast enough. And your joints, built for endurance, not explosive torque, would start failing within a few years of that kind of repeated load. You'd trade a lifetime of movement for a few years of terrifying strength. There's a third cost too, one that's easy to miss because it's not about survival. It's about everything else that makes you distinctly human. More muscle means a heavier skeleton to support it. A heavier skeleton means a different center of gravity, different joint angles, thicker everything. And thick, powerful hands are not precise hands. Every fine motor skill you take for granted, threading a needle, playing a guitar riff, performing surgery, typing this exact sentence out on a phone, exists specifically because your hands evolved to stay lean, sensitive, and exact, instead of becoming sledgehammers. Give yourself tiger strength, and you don't just gain power. You quietly lose the dexterity that lets your species build tools, write language, and eventually design machines that are stronger than any tiger that ever lived. And that last point is really the twist in this whole story. You didn't need to become the tiger. You built the tiger's strength externally instead. A crane can lift more than 50 elephants combined. A pickup truck can outrun anything on four legs for hours without stopping. A rifle can end a tiger's life from 300 yards away. Every ounce of raw power your ancestors gave up at the muscle level, your species got back 1,000 times over at the tool level. Except tools don't need to be fed 10,000 calories a day just to exist. So here's the reframe, and it's the one your body has been quietly proving your entire life. You already are the stronger animal, just not in the way you originally imagined. You're strong enough to walk for hours without collapsing, smart enough to build machines that multiply your force 1,000-fold, efficient enough to survive on a fraction of a tiger's daily calorie demand, while still having enough leftover brain power to ask, what if I were stronger in the first place? A tiger can knock you flat in one swipe, sure, but it can't outwalk you, can't outthink you, can't outbuild you, and definitely can't outlast you. Evolution didn't make you weak. It made a calculated, ruthless trade, 2 million years in the making, and it made you a completely different kind of strong, the kind that's currently sitting behind a screen, wondering about tigers, instead of running from one.